Hello, welcome to another episode of Pineapple and Lemon. Okay, so today we are doing another series.
TV
show. Season 1, episode 1. We're doing a musical show.
Hooray!
Today. It's a Disney show.
Can you guess?
Can you guess? There's only a couple. Disney TV show musical. Music by Alan Menken.
Hooray!
Woo! Alan Menken! We are going to be watching the pilot episode and potentially the second episode of Galavant. Do you know anything?
Okay, for Galavant, I have seen a few episodes. It was when you were watching them all.
When I was binging them? Yeah.
So I've technically not seen the beginning of the show. I've seen partway through it.
So there's only 2 seasons of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It came out 2015 to 2016.
Fairly recent.
It kind of came out. So the reason it was an ABC show originally. It got canceled because it wasn't getting enough views.
Mm-hmm.
Reasoning why? Because this was during the time that musicals weren't really that popular.
This was before Greatest Showman, right?
This was before Greatest Showman. I think it came out a couple of years before.
There's a lot of lulls in the musical world of movies where people are either really into them or they're really not.
Yeah. Alan Menken still owns the rights to the show and to the music. So if anyone at Disney Plus would like to reach out to the phenomenal Alan Menken, Disney Plus, and renew it for a 3rd season, there's a ton of fans who would love to have this brought back. But it's definitely a comedy. 1000% a comedy. It literally makes fun of itself. Mm-hmm. It makes fun of pop culture references. It's just a good time.
I would say that I know a lot of people have grievances with musicals, and I would say this falls very heavily into those kind of musicals people have issues with because it's very theatrical. But I would counter that with 1 being Alan Menken, whose music is always incredible. Yes. And 2, because it's a comedy, it is poking fun of itself.
1000%.
I would think people can kind of see it for what it is. But yes, I could understand people being turned off of the show because of the theatricality of it and just kind of what they're going for.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you find your niche and people really like it, then they'll really like it. Not a lot of musical TV shows really get off the ground either. So I feel like this had a lot going against it to get.
It did. It had a lot. And again, like I was saying, I definitely don't think that it helped that it came out just, maybe a year or two too early. Just before streaming was more popular and mainstream. Yeah. And musicals were a lot more popular. That's when everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Everyone had to have a musical episode tossed in there at some point. Yeah.
And then Cats killed it.
Cats killed it?
Cats got rid of the musical again.
And now everyone just hates it. So for those of you who know nothing about Galavant, like I had said earlier, Alan Menken wrote the music for it, was heavily involved with it. The IMDb plot synopsis of the show's entirety is a musical comedy adventure featuring a knight on a quest for love who helps a childish king to see the error of his ways. And the synopsis, according to IMDb, is Sir Galavant falls into a drunken despair after losing his true love to the evil King Richard. Do you have anything before we start? Any questions about?
Just to say, with our television reacts, we do watch the first couple episodes, and then if we decide we like the series or if people want to hear us talk about it more, we'll do an episode in the future. So it just kind of see how it goes.
Absolutely.
But with that being said,
okay, we will now be presenting
Galavant.
We're gallivanting. I will be restraining myself and I will not be singing along.
No singing!
Because copyrights. So I am holding my tongue just so you all know this is torture for me because I love this soundtrack.
And we're not just going to sit in bed and open gifts and talk about how much fun the wedding was, okay? We're doing it.
Yep.
He does great work. This is such a great character because he gets to have so much fun.
Richard's so fantastic.
Yeah. You get exactly what he is right away.
Oh, 1000%. Richard is Richard. There's nothing overly complicated about him.
Only I can offer her great.
It's a lot of belts.
Yeah, why does he have so many?
2 belts. Yeah. Plus the fastenings on his shirt, his jacket.
Too much, man.
family was slaughtered above me. I now...
That's quite the jewel right there. It looks like one of those hard Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, right? Rock candy?
Yeah.
Your family has killed the last 4 generations of chefs in my family. It's not a great job, my king.
Maybe stop being a chef then. Or get better at cooking, because clearly there's something wrong.
He's just temperamental.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that guy was going hard. The guy on the left. He's like, let me whip
So
my head.
into it.
No, that's not it. It's more sadistic.
Vicious.
She can be.
Would you stop it, Gary?
I think it's so funny when they swear on shows, but they just bleep it out.
Yeah. So because it's on Disney, they bleeped it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't actually bleep it. I don't believe so. Well, at least in like the later episodes.
But I come from a long family of lovers. You can't fight genetics.
What?
Love is in your genetics.
Yeah, apparently.
Look, I'd love to help, really.
Well, you should love to help because you're a lover, apparently, in your genetics.
Right? Your DNA says that you are a lover.
Yeah.
4 months I hid in that cellar. He and his queen slept.
From what we've met about King Richard so far, I find it so hard to believe he would come up with this idea.
Right?
Like he thought this far ahead.
He has like his moments, but like that's like a 1% moment.
Yeah. But this is like a pretty he was thinking ahead.
Yeah.
It's a lot of thinking on his part.
Okay, so episode 1 of Galavant was pretty short, so I think we're gonna roll right into the second one just to give us a little bit more of a taste of it.
Yep.
So episode 2 of episode 2. I thought I said something completely different. Oh my goodness, I need some sleep or coffee. Send coffee. Episode 2 of Galavant is called Joust Friends.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Play on words. IMDb says the plot summary is Galavant enters a jousting competition while King Richard tries to man up in order to win Madalena's heart.
And away we go.
Off we go.
2, please.
So nice to be shooting a bunch of episodes in just the forest. A lot easier on your location budget.
Right?
They snuck up on him way too easily if he's supposed to be like this great.
Oh, right. I mean, like you
adventurer.
have your 2 companions behind you, didn't see them sneak out of anywhere.
Yeah, nothing.
You've been screaming like a castrated hyena for the past 10 minutes.
Would they know what a hyena is?
I think that's the joke. That they like wouldn't have actually come in contact with one.
I mean, I haven't either, but
What? You didn't see the one just, walking
Down
down
the
the
road.
street the other day?
those Canadian hyenas.
Yeah, right? Winterfell and Hell. Or Valencia.
What if they went
Take your
to
pick.
Winterfell?
I think that'd be hilarious. There's lots of Game of Thrones jokes made.
Yeah. It's so weird because yes, this came during when that was airing,
Yes.
but this feels like an older show.
Yes.
Even though it's not that old.
1000%.
Hello, Jean Ham.
John Hamm?
John Hamm.
Like John Hamm? John Hamm?
John Hamm.
A madman?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh god.
The Jewel of Valencia is not collateral. It is the cornerstone of my kingdom. Wars have been waged over it.
So I'll put it in the same ballpark as the rooster then? Yeah.
Wow.
Put it with the rooster.
He'll probably eat at it. Like Moana. Why did they paint the little heart on it?
Because why not? I think it's fun.
Wow, we're just having some fire breathing.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
It's a firebender.
Let's get into it.
I want someone to run across with a SpongeBob cart. This is 5 years later.
I mean, Galavant fell first, so doesn't he lose?
Legends will be told about this moment.
Yes. And he stood so gracefully.
Stuck the landing.
10 out of 10.
I need a hug.
Yeah, it's a little tight. Seriously.
Smushes him.
Regicide.
Okay. 2 episodes of Galavant.
Galavant.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm pretty much for this kind of thing.
Right?
Regardless. It's silly. It's light. You can really just whiz through it. We're quarter done the
1000%.
first season.
Yeah, we watched 2 episodes. We're only 8 in it. We're almost like halfway. Well, I mean, like you said, it's so easy just to like binge through it.
Mm-hmm.
The music's great. It's so fun. It's funny. It's a good time. It's really light. So if you're having a bad day, it's just you pop it on and it's just like it's a good laugh. With a show like this, it has a better format in a binge way.
Yes.
Than it does like I'm gonna wait a week to watch a 20-minute episode.
That would harm it. Definitely.
I think that definitely harms it. I think by putting it on a streaming service where you have like a full season, like definitely Netflix style, posted, and that someone can just binge through it because it only will take you not even a half day to finish.
There's something to be said about shows that get canceled maybe before their time, or if they were allowed to go on, they could have become something even better. We got what we got, but we could have had more. And then eventually you get to a point where it's like, well, it's been how many years, you know?
Do you think, at this point, is it even worth trying to bring it back? Like, would the original cast even be interested? Like, because I don't think that you'd ever be able to redo this show or do a third season without the original cast members. Like there's just absolutely no way because the cast members are perfect. They're just so perfect for their roles. They do them phenomenally. I just definitely like you cannot put different actors.
I think just hearing the name Galavant too doesn't give you as much as
to go on. You're like, well, what Galavant? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like to go gallivanting is like a thing.
Frolicking through force.
But if someone like didn't make that connection, they just see like, oh, okay, it's one of those like.
It's definitely not like an eye-catching cover or title.
Yeah.
So you're definitely relying on word of mouth. You're relying on trailers or clips to bring in the audience.
Yeah, I just think a lot of people who scrolled upon this probably saw it and were like, oh, I like medieval things, clicked on it, music right away, probably shut it off.
Yeah, definitely.
I do think it's a really specific audience to go for musical fantasy.
I would almost compare it to what is the Netflix show Norseman? So I came across this other show called Norseman and I read the description, I read what the categories were. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be watching a Viking show.
Yeah.
The nitty gritty, like dirty, like get in there kind of thing.
Yeah.
2 minutes in, I ended up turning it off because it was not at all what it was advertised as. It was it was a comedy. It was a dark comedy. Like they were just making fun of Vikings.
Yeah.
Was not what it was advertised as.
Yeah.
So really threw me. Like I think one day I will go back and I will watch it. But now knowing that it's a comedy, got to be in that mood set.
Yeah,
Do you
people
know what I mean?
like knowing what they're getting into. So I think if you're very upfront about it, and a lot of times they try to bury the lead on things where it's like, oh, like we don't really know how to market this, so I guess
I think they did market it well though. Like right off the bat, they say comedy, fantasy, and it's musical. All three. And 1000% that is what you get when you watch Galavant. You get the comedy in the lyrics and just in the goofiness of the characters. It's a fantasy because it takes place in like 1200s, and obviously it's a musical. Like you get what the categories tag it as.
I could see people though just clicking on it and not even
1000%
the rest.
And then but I mean the show literally starts off with the musical number.
Yeah, at least they throw it at you right away.
It's not like they give a slight intro and then all of a sudden they just burst out into song. It's like nope, music right off the top. You know that you're getting into a musical within like not even 30 seconds.
Yeah, opening number. So I would say to people that don't really like musicals, sometimes you just have to find the right one for you. And maybe this is it. Maybe you do like fantasy and this might be up your alley. But I do think that musicals get put into a little box and people don't look anywhere else. They just hear musical and they shut it down. So maybe just give it a try. Try something
new.
Yeah.
Even if musicals aren't for you, I think that because it has a comedy aspect into it, and it's not like the show's a comedy, the songs are serious or the songs are modern songs, just readapted, like Glee. It's original music that is comical.
Yeah.
And I think that is definitely a great entry point because it gives you a laugh.
Yeah.
Because it definitely makes fun of itself.
Oh yeah.
So it's not serious in the slightest. So it's definitely, I would find it's like, if someone's like, I've never seen a musical before, I'm like, okay, I think you should watch this.
And people complain like, oh, why are they just randomly bursting out into song for a lot of musicals? This is so clearly just like a goof.
Oh, 1000%.
So it's like, yeah, of course they're just breaking out into song because this is just ridiculous. Like, that's the point. So
whereas like, I mean, if you watch things like Aladdin, those musical numbers are in there on purpose. Like they definitely like drive the story. They it's very clear that you've entered into a musical number and you've exited a musical number. These ones are they're just throwing in songs. That's it. They'd literally just throw in the songs. It works with the way the story's planned out, but it's definitely like you had the songs and then you had the story.
Also, you're not getting any like super long songs because they're trying to stuff in a bunch of them.
Your episodes are 22 minutes. Your songs are less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They're so quick. And because it's the show, you're not getting the full versions. Whereas if you listen to the soundtracks are actually like, 2.5 to 4 minutes depending on the song.
Yeah.
Because these are only 22 minutes, you're only getting like maybe a minute and a half of the actual song. So they're definitely like flying through them because they want to focus more on driving the story a bit.
But we just want to talk about some shows that maybe don't get as much love.
Yes.
Just to see what else is out there. Because
Absolutely.
you may never have even heard of this. So
Yes, definitely recommend giving it a shot. So like going forward, some of the shows that we will be covering are not necessarily overly popular shows. Some of them might be, but we're not necessarily always doing like A-list shows.
Yeah.
Like, we're covering shows that like you've probably heard of but never actually thought to watch because you're a little like hesitant. But getting into like, past the first episode is what we're trying to get you to do. We want you to we discuss the episode. These are the points that from someone who's seen it, from someone who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Positives, negatives, and hopefully at the end of it, you guys will be in a position to be like, you know what, I haven't seen this, but I'm willing to give it a shot. You're going to go and watch the first episode. Let us know if you enjoy it and if you've continued on with the series. Always great to hear that. And then Maddie, if you feel so inclined to continue watching through, we'll definitely do a recap if that's something that you decide to do later on. Or
Yes.
if the audience would like that, we can definitely accommodate.
Especially something like this where you really can just get it done in a weekend.
Oh my goodness. When I get into the mood, I will just sit and I'll binge it.
Yep.
You really don't have to have your full attention on this to know what's happening. You could be crocheting, you could be doing a puzzle, having 4 glasses of wine, playing with your dogs while you have 4 glasses of wine. Whatever floats your boat, no judge here. But I get, like, my point being is it's an easy watch. You don't need your full attention on it. You just put it on the background while you do whatever your hobby is that you do. You need to relax and have a laugh while you do it.
Yep. And that's what we're here for, to have a laugh.
Always having a good old time.
Thank you for watching with us. We hope you enjoyed the video.
It's been a slice.
If you want, you can subscribe to see more of our videos coming down the pipeline.
The pipeline. That's so weird.
Sorry, let me take it again.
Let us know if there's any TV shows or movies that you would like us to review and give our 2 cents opinions on.
And we hope to catch you on the next one. See you later.
See ya!